Hi, welcome back Fantasy Fiction Fanatics. It's great to see you again and I hope you're doing well. Today's class is going to be a mini episode from my class on chapters 6 through 1 of Dragons of Spring Dawning. And the section I'm going to have for us today is the fact that the good side trusts the evil side to hold up their ends of the bargain, or to hold up to honesty and to play fairly by the rules, and how this is a flaw that the good side has when interacting with the evil side, which doesn't have the same morals. So if you'd like to see how good is trusting evil and not getting good results from it, go ahead and keep watching this mini episode. Okay, so the first thing I'd like to talk about in this section, it's kind of a question, kind of an answer for what we get out of it, but we have two big examples in this story during these 5 chapters that the good guys believe that the evil side that is under the Queen of Darkness, who wants to destroy everything good in the world, should be honest, faithful, and keep their word. Does anybody else wonder why anybody would just take their word at face value and decide that they're not trying to pull a trick, they're not gonna be dishonest, they're not going to not break their word? I mean, these are the people who do not stick by morals. They're the ones where you're like, they have no morals and that's why we need to defeat them. So why would anybody trust the word of the enemy? Why? Does anybody else have this question in their brain, like, who is stupid enough to trust this? We have 2 examples of it. 2! So, the first one is the one where Silvara and Gilthanis talk about their trip to see if they can get the dragon eggs back. Why would the good dragons trust the bad dragons not to do anything with their eggs? I don't understand. It shouldn't be a surprise that they're turning their good dragon eggs into draconians. First of all, where else do they think draconians came from? Second of all, how would you trust the evil people who would totally do something like this to not hurt your dragon eggs just because you had an agreement? I don't understand why. On this note, it's a little bit of a side note, but I also don't get in this part how they leave, and I know that they almost get captured or whatever, but why did they leave without trying to get the dragon eggs back, the ones that haven't been destroyed, since they know that they're being destroyed? Did anyone else have that question either? But yeah, back to the main point. Why would you trust that they were going to leave your eggs alone? These are the enemy that, you know, has no morals and wants to kill everything and is going to do anything to win. So that includes going back on their word and destroying your eggs and your young. Just saying, it doesn't seem like the smartest thing to decide that they're going to be honest and keep their word. It really doesn't. I would have looked for proof a lot sooner than that, or find some way to bind them so they have to keep their word or something, because obviously evil does not care. They don't care, they just want what they want. The second one is more because we, as the audience, know more information, but at the same time I feel like this is still valid, is the note from Kitiara to Laurana. Yes, I know that Laurana believes that Kit does have Tanis with her, because at the time that she talked to her the first time, he was with her and she could tell she was being honest. But why would you trust the enemy to not lead you into a trap by telling you your greatest weakness? Let's be honest. Kitiara knows that Laurana's biggest weakness is Tanis. So not only does she not have Tanis, though Laurana doesn't know that, but even if she did, she's evil. Why would you think that she's being honest in her motivations? You are winning. Laurana's winning. So of course Kit is going to pull out the big guns in order to squash her and make it so that way her army doesn't have a leader anymore. So that way she can just run in and destroy everything. So why would you not take a moment to think and be like, hey, how do I know she's being honest and truthful about this? And at least in some aspect, expect it to be a trap. Just like, Flint and Tass do honestly believe it could be a trap, and they aren't even sure that Tanis is with Kitiara, which he's not, and they don't totally know everything that happened between Laurana and Kitiara. But even if Kitiara did say that Tanis was with her, and yes, that was true, but on Laurana's point, shouldn't she question it? Shouldn't she know that, hey, Kitiara knows that Tanis is my weakness, so maybe I should have some reservations? I should demand some kind of proof? Something? Really, how could you expect Kitiara to be honest? Let's get real. So, this really has two things to it about this whole good trusting evil. And the first thing is that, especially when it comes to the Laurana and Kitiara situation, is it provides tension. Because us as the audience, we know more than Laurana does, and that is something that the author is using, is by giving us more information and the characters less information. So we know it's going to be a trap, because we know that Kitiara doesn't have Tanis anymore. We know that he's going down the whirlpool, and even though Kitiara did fly after him and get stuck in that whirlpool, was able to fight through the storm, she did not capture them. She ended up getting blown away in the end. So we know that Kitiara does not have Tanis unless she went to the bottom of that whirlpool and dug out his dead body or something. Let's be real. Especially since she said that the battle he was injured in was a battle he wasn't at all. So we know it's going to be some kind of trap. We know that she just wants to get Laurana out because she's winning, and they do not want her to be winning. So it gives us the tension to know that Laurana's going to go into this situation and be trusting, and she really shouldn't be, because Tass and Flint are right. It is going to be a trap. The second thing that we see from both portions is that good has its flaws. We see the flaw of our good heroes. Heroes are the people that are honest, people who do have morals, the people who would keep their word, the people who would be faithful, the people who would make the right choice, and if they say this is what they're going to do, then that's what they're going to do. And so we see that weakness by the good side believing that the bad side has the same properties when they don't. I don't know why the good side would believe that the bad side, who is everything that you stand against, would have these same values, but we see that good has its own flaws, that no matter how much we admire them and no matter how much we look up to them, to these heroes and these people who are fighting for justice, they're still human and they still have human flaws. And it's just like, a parent who's had their child taken hostage and they instantly pay the money, even though that doesn't mean that they're going to give back their child. They might still kill their child anyway, just to get the money. So we see the difficulties of how do you trust somebody who is untrustworthy, and whether they deserve that ability to be trusted. There are some enemies that have a code of honor, and they would definitely stick by what they say. But we know that these are not those kind of people. this is not this kind of criminal or these kind of evils. We're by the Queen of Darkness, the one that wants to destroy everything. And so I feel like the good side should have a little bit more smarts. There we go. Should have a little bit more smarts to know that they should be a little bit more untrusting of the evil side. So we do see the flaws in the good side, and the authors really want you to see that yes, they do have their own flaws, and this is going to provide extra conflict to this battle. It's going to make it even harder for the good side to win, because we didn't have the good dragons for so long, and now we are going to have Laurana going into a trap and very possibly captured, taking away our one good general who knows what they're doing, who can really win this fight.